I think we're streaming. I think we're live. So, Mikey, go ahead and start with that intro.
Warning! The following content is brought to you live. It is also not meant for the ears of the young, as we are very passionate individuals who have a lot to say, and none of them are very nice words. With that said, if you have any children in the room, please escort them out or put on noise canceling headphones. Or blare it. Your house, I guess. With that said, we know that we are not factually correct in our opinions. We are aware that opinions are opinions, and like noses, some of them smell. With that said, we appreciate you listening. Anyhow,
What is up, everyone, and welcome to the first ever live Far Side of the Pod podcast. My name's Jordan. We got Ridge.
What's up, y'all?
We got Caleb.
Long time no see.
Yep. We got Caleb.
What's up, y'all?
And we got Mikey.
I still do the intros, even if they're live.
And like Ridge said, it's been a while. We know we've been gone for a few weeks. Life's been rough for a few of us. But either way, we're back now, and we're here. So first thing we want to really say is big congratulations to our buddy Austin and his bride Bree getting married. So that's a big step for them. Also want to shout out Travis Hunter and his now wife. They just got married in Athens, Tennessee, of all places. The biggest thing that happened to us since Reagan came through in the 70s.
Right, because we were around for that.
Biggest thing since we've been here.
Yeah, for sure. All right, so first things first on the podcast this week. Rumor has it, Ridge, you got a few of them lined up for us, so hit us with them.
Yep, I got 4 of them for us this week, alright? And we'll start it off with, let's see there. Alright, so rumor has it, Shrek 5's plot is that his daughter decides to start messing with magic, apparently, and casts a spell that ends up sending her dad and Donkey into the real world, and she can't get them back. She don't know how to bring them back, so she has to find a way to bring them back while they're on a journey in the real world. What the hell do we think about that?
That does not sound that. I mean, it sounds crazy, but it sounds kind of weird.
It sounds like something that we've heard multiple times.
Yeah.
Sounds like
before.
Barbie.
Yeah.
Sounds like Barbie. It sounds like every single Smurf movie we've gotten.
Yeah.
This is a copy and paste of what we've gotten. Oh, not to mention He-Man that's coming out.
Yep. That's
Caleb, sorry I cut you off.
No, you're good. I was just gonna say, yeah, we've heard it before. Stuff. I mean, it's like SpongeBob being brought to the real universe and stuff like that. But I mean, I think it's a cool concept to explore with it. It's just I think it really just depends on if the writing's good for it.
And if they can, bank off of using every character that they've had in the past, maybe too. And if they will fix at least Pinocchio, because
Oh, God, yes.
Oh god. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
unless they end up saying that he has like plastic surgery or something, and that's the reason why he was able to look so well like that and bubbly, but I don't know, y'all. I guess I watch it because it's what we grew up on and see how it is, but I'm not looking forward to it.
Right. I mean,
It's not something that's exciting to me.
like you said, I'm gonna watch it because it's childhood stuff, but that's about it.
Yeah.
I just want to. I kind of just want to throw this out here. I am with everyone else. It's like, yeah, how many more fictional characters are going to come to the real world? Smurfs. That one movie about the Easter Bunny Hop. Sonic the Hedgehog. He-Man, I guess.
Mhm.
That one movie that I can't be bothered to remember about some Disney-esque ass princess coming to the real world.
Oh yeah, I think
Enchanted.
it's Enchanted.
Yeah, whatever. That one. And now Shrek's daughter, who, if I remember correctly, when we first saw Shrek's kids as children, his daughter had blue eyes.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm not gonna say that there ain't a chance that that's another one of the kids.
Right. I'm just saying, like, on the surface, it was like, not any particular statement. It was like, but maybe, you know what? It's not worth it. It's Shrek's coming to the real world. Who cares? I can't. I am not looking forward to all the lame ass jokes I'm gonna have to hear about, like all the dead memes once Shrek's in the real world that I'm gonna have to like see. I'm gonna be sitting there like,
Oh God, yeah.
I shouldn't have wasted money on this ticket.
Well,
Be in the theater like, I really wish I weren't here right now.
right, and especially around all the kids too. That's the reason why you try to go watch it on like if you can, try to watch it on like either a super early showing or on a Thursday showing, because most of the times there's not going to be a lot of kids. There will be kids, but just not a shit ton of kids
Yeah, not those ones.
during those showings.
Not those ones that is shouting a question every 30 seconds. Mom, what you doing? Mom, what's that? Mom.
I don't get it.
Me and
All right, so
No, I don't want to have to be sitting in a theater and then hear the startup, like the first few notes of All Star, and then be suddenly drenched in a mountain's worth of popcorn and soda, like Steve just said, chicken jockey. Because at that point, your kids are forfeit to these hands.
it's not even going to be like the proper version of All Star. It's going to be the mean version of the kids that are singing it.
Yeah.
I don't know if y'all know what I'm talking about. That. So,
Oh, great! It's gonna be Kids Bop, and I'm gonna have to leave the theater.
It's going to be something stupid like that.
Great, it's gonna be Kids Bop, and I'm gonna have to see myself out of the theater before I throw up on the three kids in front of me.
All right. Let's move on to something a little bit better, guys. These next three are MCU related, of course.
Nice.
That's one of the big things that we always end up talking about, right? So, our second rumor has it Jake Schreier is being eyed to direct the new X-Men movie.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts about having him? If you don't know who it is, that's the guy that just directed the Thunderbolts.
Yeah. I think that'd be super solid, especially with how Thunderbolts did. I think it'd be a really good thing to do.
The emotion that we got in Thunderbolts, and certain parts of like the darker side that we got from it too.
Yeah.
It'll work out really well, I think, and I think that's the kind of director that you need for the new X-Men.
Yeah.
Guys, what do you think?
I mean, Thunderbolts was a great movie. I think it's interesting. I think we'll just have to see where it goes with it. I think he's fully capable of making that movie good. So
I think it's also like the one villain I keep hearing that they want to do is Mr. Sinister, which is a very big.
Oh yeah.
Very big, X-Men villain. So I'm praying, like, I could see that kind of grittiness or whatever in the X-Men film with Mr. Sinister to give it a sinister feel to it. So that'd be cool.
Unintended.
Yeah.
Mikey, you got any thoughts on it?
Let me find my non-existent drum kit so I can fire up a rim shot for Jordan. But there it is. Okay. Put this shit away. For something non-existent, it's heavy. I think it'd be cool. I do think the notion, I find it very notion-y. Very cool. I I will say the Mr. Sinister plotline is convoluted as fuck.
Oh yeah. I mean,
Name a villain that is more like a fly than he is a villain. Mr. Sinister. It's like, can you go home, please?
I mean,
Like, guess what? I am back, Lamau. Is it me? Am I a clone? I don't know. And you're like, please go away. Please go away. I do not want you here. No one wants you
They'd
here.
have to have Morph too. They'd have to at least introduce Morph if they bring in Mr. Sinister. So that'd be cool.
There ain't no telling who they're going to bring in for this thing. All I know is that it's going to be very, very interesting, including this next part of who they have being eyed as Mr. Magneto himself. Because rumor has it Daniel Day-Lewis is being eyed to play Magneto for the new X-Men movie.
Dude,
Now take it.
I would kill for that.
Yeah.
Dude.
Now take it though, he is technically retired, and the only reason he came back to act in a movie here lately was because it was directed by his son.
Right. True.
So I don't think he'll come back for this. Personally, in my own opinion, they'll find somebody like him maybe, but I'm not seeing it being him just because I don't think he'll want to stick around for this many movies unless you decide to tell Magneto and Charles's story all in one movie and that be that. So I doubt he will be the one that gets it, but just
If I could
for a preference,
if I could pick
that's
anybody,
who.
it'd definitely be him or Jeremy Irons. Not Jeremy Irons. Who's the cat that played Lucius Mouthboy? What's his name?
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
I can't remember.
Hold on a sec, I got you. I'll look it up.
Yeah, I was about to say,
He's in that live action Peter Pan 2 or something. I forget his name.
Yeah. Either way, he.
Are you talking about
Jason Isaacs.
Yeah, Jason Isaacs. Yes.
Yeah,
Oh, that's not who I thought you was talking about at all.
Either that or either that or somehow bring Michael Fassbender back. That's it. I keep hearing people say that Denzel Washington is interested in playing him, and it's like, look, I love Denzel more than most people, but Magneto is famously a Jewish character, and that's like one of the big selling plots of his whole character is that he went through the Holocaust. So like
Now, I will make a slight argument against it, and it's not a big one, okay?
right,
We're getting the multiverse, right?
yeah,
Right here, or we're getting more of it, okay? So, can we have a Magneto that is not Jewish from the multiverse somehow end up into this world and maybe make him more so like to fit this like timeline of where we're going to be at too? Because if you think about taking a character that was from the Holocaust all the way to where Secret Wars and past is going to be at, you're looking at a big ass fucking gap in age right there. I don't know exactly how big of a gap that is, but
he could
That's-
definitely be a variant because like
So-
you said with Daniel Day-Lewis is Denzel is retiring soon too, so it's like
right. So, and I mean, take it like I said, if we're trying to make it fit more so for like, let's just say it was coming out not that long after Secret Wars, maybe that would fit for a time period where there was still a big issue going on, but it was more so about slavery and race in that sense than the Holocaust. Because it's still bad stuff
yeah.
that was happening, just in different ways, you know? So that's the only argument I'll give against, you know, or give towards having someone like Denzel Washington, is to fit it just to this time.
Right. It's a reasonable cause. So
All right. Anything else on that?
Nah.
Do you have anything else on the X-Men cast? I've got a couple things on it.
And I have nothing else on the X-Men cast now.
Okay, so they're filming Doomsday right now. It's been rumored that a few people have been seen on set for Doomsday, and like some people are saying that these are the younger X-Men, like our X-Men that we're going to get in the future. The big prominent one that I can really remember is Patrick Schwarzenegger is being very highly rumored to play Cyclops.
Mm.
And Daisy Edgar Jones, who I don't know if you don't know who she is, she played the main character in the new Twisters movie.
Mm-hmm.
She's being very highly eyed to play Jean Grey.
And they're really high on Cynthia Erivo to play Storm too right now.
And also Logan Letterman, who played Percy Jackson in the Percy Jackson movies, is being played Beast as well.
Okay. I mean, I kind of like that. That's a pretty good choice.
Yeah, that's they had one for Iceman, but I can't remember the guy's name. And I also heard that there's a rumor that they're bringing Elliot Page, who formerly Ellie Page played Kitty Pryde in the older X-Men movies. They are being rumored to come back as Kitty Pryde, but I guess as a transitioned Kitty Pryde.
If they bring in Kitty Pryde with them, I think it will only be for the Secret Wars movie. I don't think
Yeah. I don't think it'd be for the new movie. No, I meant to bring that up. My bad.
All right. Anything else on that?
No, that's it.
Then we'll get to our last one right here. All right. So our last one is that rumor has it the Annihilators project is in development over at MCU. The Annihilators is an OP team formed to be kind of like another version of the Guardians. It was made in honor of Peter Quill, but it was formed around a lot of very OP characters. Let me look up. Sorry, I did not come fully prepared, as you can tell.
Is it going to be the team that they showed at the end of Guardians 3, like Adam Warlock and all that?
It could have Adam Warlock, but I don't know if it will be the exact same
right
characters that we just seen at the end. Hold on, sorry.
I mean, I would at least I'd at least expect him to bring back Adam Warlock and Cosmo, the dog.
Okay, so this team is consistent of this would be a way to bring in the Silver Surfer, the male version of him.
Right.
It has Silver Surfer, Beta Ray Bill, Gladiator, Ronin, Nova, Drax the Destroyer has been a part of it, Cosmo the Space Dog, Icon, and I cannot pronounce the last, or this other one, it's Quasar, Quasar?
Quasar, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So, but that's the team lineup.
Okay, it makes sense, especially with Nova, because I just saw something today. It's talking about Nova, saying that Nova apparently is being talked to be a very, very important character for the next saga.
Right.
They're saying comparing him to how Loki was to this saga.
Mm-hmm.
So
that would bring in a lot of the characters too, like the characters that we've been wanting to see with Beta Ray Bill and Silver Surfer and also Nova. I mean, it's bringing in all the characters. It brings in those three popular characters, and the Silver Surfer for those who are worried to death about not having the male Silver Surfer, that would be how we'd get him in this universe.
I was just about to say, dude, that has been one of my most least favorite things to hear people hear somebody complain about with the new Fantastic Four movie, because they're just like, I thought he was a guy, I thought it was a dude, and it's like, bro, don't call yourself a fan and go online and bitch about not seeing a male version of the Silver Surfer when you don't even know that there is a female version that is his wife. Like,
the same people that bitch about that are the same ones that are going to find a way to bitch about how Galactus is not comic book accurate.
right.
That's the exact same fucking group. It's not purple enough.
I just want to quote a well-renowned, or at the very least, a notorious character. And even though I'm quoting this character, dear listeners, understand me well and clear that I also agree with this sentiment concerning whatever the new Silver Surfer is going to be. Oh my God, who the hell cares?
So yeah. Caleb, you got anything, bud? You've been quiet on this one.
I mean, it's just like, I get why people want the male Silver Surfer. I mean, he's a badass. I get it and all, but like, she is in the comic books too, and this is an opportunity for them to showcase her a little bit. So I'm not really mad about it. I think it's an okay idea. I don't have an issue with it. So,
well, just about the Annihilators in general.
Oh, well, the Annihilators, I mean, I haven't really seen a whole lot on that. I've heard a few things, but it's just, it's one of those things I'm not, like, too into.
I think it'll be interesting because, like I said, it's an OP-ass team.
I mean,
if you
they're going to have another team that, like, to kind of counteract how the Guardians did. Like, they're going to have some kind of funny team or some kind of team that brings some kind of humor,
Right, and if we go into the galaxies again here after the X-Men or whatever, and if the long-time whispers are true that we're going to get into Annihilus, this is a very good way to have a team that can take him on the first round,
Right. I do have a real question. You know how in Endgame or Infinity War, one of the two, there was supposed to be a scene where it showed Thanos going to Xandar and getting the Space Stone?
Yeah.
Maybe, because that's where Nova's supposed to be from, is Xandar.
Yeah.
So do you think that they could possibly, bring that back as his, part of his story? Like, why
I have no clue. I also know that Nova starts out as a different character completely.
Yeah.
That gets killed off, and then his helmet or whatever finds somebody, I believe, on Earth.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like how Peter Quill is, right?
Oh yeah. So they could technically still throw that in, and that maybe the original Nova died during Xandar, and somehow they got the helmet.
Right. Yeah. So
okay.
That's how I see that happening. But we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah.
And that is our rumor has it for the week.
Awesome. On to the next subject. We're talking about the Batman 2. Ridge, you got the notes on this?
Yep. Alright, so the Batman Part 2 is a go-ahead with the DCU. And apparently, too, by the way, this is something I am going to go ahead and throw in. I had it off to the side. Apparently, Matt Reeves has the first draft of the script ready and is going to turn it in on Monday.
Nice.
Now, speaking of Matt Reeves, we don't know if he's going to direct this movie or not. The way it looks, he's writing it, obviously. Hopefully he directs it, but if he does not direct it, what does this mean for the movie as a whole moving forward? Who do we want to direct if not him? And if he's not directing, if he's still writing, does this look good for us to get a third one afterwards, or is it just dead in the water after part 2 because of how long this one took?
I think it would have to be based on how the second one would do, like in like box office numbers. Like if the second one does as many numbers as the first one did, then yeah, they're gonna have to make a third one. But if it doesn't, then I don't see what the what the point is, because you got to think this ain't going to be our Batman for the DCU. This is a whole Elseworld thing. So, I mean, I would like for them to complete the trilogy, but
Are people still going to want this Batman?
hell, I do.
I mean, I know the hardcore fans like me, you, and a few others still want this, but we're right here at the point of we're going to have this Batman Part 2.
Right.
At some point, it's going to come out. We still don't know when it's coming out. As far as I know, they're still trying to aim for it to come out by 27. Not sure. But even by then, at the same time, we're also going to be having a completely new Batman coming in. That's going to be a big talking point too, because we know that this one's going to be a bit older, look a bit more rugged, and probably a little bit more yoked. So,
Because we're starting out with Damian Wayne, so that means we're already going to have Red Hood and Nightwing and probably the Huntress.
yeah, we're getting like the whole Bat family
Yeah.
with this movie too, and like there's a chance of getting Batgirl finally too, in a way. So,
Yeah,
but
we'll have to see.
to get back on topic of this too, if Matt Reeves does not direct this movie, who do we want to direct it?
Definitely not Todd Phillips.
No.
Let's think.
I tell you who I also don't want on it. The dude that did The Flash.
Andy Machete.
And that's supposed to be, and supposed to be doing this new Batman movie.
Man, you know
I
what?
don't want him on it because he has not had good press.
No. You know, honestly, who I could see possibly if they don't continue with Matt Reeves as the director, they could also bring in Mike Flanagan. I mean, think about it.
It'd be interesting.
Mike Flanagan's doing that Clayface movie.
Yeah.
And I've heard back and forth whether the Clayface will be a part of the DCU or the DC Elseworld universe. So, if they want to incorporate Clayface into Batman 2, which I've heard rumors that they could, why not have it be Mike Flanagan's directing as well?
I also heard that movie is in rewrites right now.
Yeah, I think so.
Like page 1 rewrites or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so hear me out on Wild One to direct this Batman. What if we had Ben Affleck direct it?
I mean, I wouldn't be against it.
That'd be pretty cool if you ask me, because you have one of the original Batman, or one of the older Batmans directing
Right.
one of the newer Batmans.
And imagine, because, I mean, when we got the Batman 1, a lot of people talked about how some wish that the combat was a little better, like, because, he's only year 2, but imagine the style of combat that they could add into him if they had, like, Ben Affleck's influence into it. Like,
Yeah.
think about the warehouse scene in Batman vs. Superman. That's arguably the best Batman fight scene in history. So it's like, they could ramp that up into those movies, and I think it'd be beautiful. So, I mean, I wouldn't be against it.
As long as it's not freaking Ryan Johnson or what's his name?
Ryan Johnson's the one who did The Last Jedi, if that's who you're thinking.
Yeah, as long as it ain't him, bro. Like, I think I'll be okay with whoever directs it, as long as they, respect the script. It's really all that matters.
And stick to the style too, because that's what made the Batman so amazing to me. Is like they made it gritty, they made it more realistic, they made it feel more real. So I hope they stick to that formula. That's all I care about. Because that was my favorite thing about the first one. So,
Mikey, you got any thoughts on it?
You know, I can't help but every time, a Batman movie or it, like when I think my problem is the kind of like worry I get when it comes to DC movies in general, just because they've had a bad run. And that's not even me being like hooked compared to Marvel movies. No, it's just I've not had a lot of DC movies that I thought were absolutely fantastic in recent memory, just on the brain. So I always feel a little nervous when it comes to DC movies. I want them to be good because I like DC superheroes. I like the DC universe. I want it to be good.
Right. Now, I did think of a last second one. I don't know if he'd be able to do it or not, or if since he's on another movie already scheduled for around this time of year, or it's according to whenever they start to get into wanting to direct the Batman Part 2. But what about Destin Daniel Cretton?
What else has he done?
You don't know what Destin Daniel Cretton has done? Brother, that's the man that did Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. That's the fella that's doing Spider-Man: A Brand New Day.
Okay. I mean, yeah.
If you brought him in, could you imagine those fight scenes?
Yeah, I'd give you that.
And you have the same person that's doing the choreograph for those two movies?
Yeah, okay, I get
Son, you want to talk about something wild for Batman? That would be some good fighting scenes for Batman. If you had him on board.
You know how you could really piss off some people? Bring in Zack Snyder.
Oh, good God. I feel like he would want to change it too much.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't want it.
Alright.
Look, everyone, before it's gone, someone regretting possibly speaking something into existence.
Alright, anything else on the Batman?
Nope.
Justice.
Alright,
Alright,
let's move on.
So our next topic is about Godzilla and Kong Supernova, which was announced for 2027. Bridge, go ahead, buddy.
Well, as Slater said, the title is Godzilla x Kong Supernova. And they released a little teaser trailer. Wasn't nothing too much. I think it was it looked like a room where they launched spaceships from, to be honest with you. Just a bunch of different computers and everything, different people working. And it lit up saying about different Titans, I guess, and different issues that were going on around the world. And then it popped up it shows a computer and a number that you can call, and apparently if you call that number, it just gives you pretty much the same thing, as far as I know for now. So, with us knowing that it's Supernova, this looks like the possibility of us getting one of the space aliens, whether it's Spacezilla or whether it's Gaijin, maybe. Or it could just be something else super wild that gets made here on Earth, surprisingly, that has the ability to be supernova. Guys, what are our thoughts on Supernova? Who do you want? Do you want it to be Spacezilla or Gaijin?
I think Gaijin.
Or do you want it?
I think Gaijin.
I was gonna say Gaijin.
Yeah.
So everybody's in agreement on Gaijin.
It came from outer space.
Yeah, I think.
Listen, to be 100% honest, I don't know a shit ton at all about the Godzilla or Kong of the past.
Right.
I've heard small things here and there about how Godzilla has these characters from space. I've never heard of Kong having anything from space. Of course, again, I've not watched the old shit, so there probably is a King Kong even from space. Who knows? But all I know is either way, I'm going to be super excited because I love watching Godzilla and King Kong going after something and teaming up together to take down something. It's always a fun time.
Watch, Godzilla's gonna pull up in the Black Air Forces like it's Fortnite.
Yeah.
Yeah. Listen, I don't know a whole lot about the expanded universe when it comes to Godzilla. I know the names of monsters and shit, but the only other thing, the one thing I know about Godzilla is flying dropkick. I know nothing else, and that it works every time. I don't care if Godzilla misses a few times. At some point, it works.
Listen, if we are going down this wild and wacky road of getting, these different characters brought up, you might as well go ahead and let him do a dropkick in the actual movie. Why the fuck not? It'd be great to see it on the Godzilla of nowadays.
And here comes King Kong with the steel chair.
They need to have him do that dumbass move, like that meme where it looks like he's riding on his tail. You know what meme I'm
That's
talking
that's
about?
what I
That's what he's talking about.
Okay, yeah.
That is exactly what I'm talking about.
That's what he's
Sliding
talking about.
drop
Yeah.
kick.
Dude,
So-
hilarious.
I love that meme.
I also would like for in this movie, since we've already seen the Child of Kong, I would love to see the Child of Godzilla either at some point in this movie or at the very end of this movie.
I mean, which could make sense because they've made Son of Godzilla movies.
Right, and
Also known as Godzilla at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, what do we think about, because I know that this is in a different Godzilla movie in general, I believe. What if we have, because we've had blue and pink so far. So what if this time we get green?
That would be awesome.
Or like a purple.
Or purple, or we could just do the fucking rainbow.
Hell yeah.
Make everybody happy and use
Look
the
at-
rainbow.
Look, you guys, it's Nionzilla.
Look, everyone, it's Pridezilla.
Starts playing the Nyan Cat theme as it's sliding across its
Yeah.
tail.
Yeah, except it has to be done with a metal shamshin because it's Godzilla.
Or it could be just a big ass Pop Tart.
Big ass
Jeez.
Pop Tart.
Look,
Oh,
before
what
we
did
fall
we
too
get
much
into?
further, I don't know if I want Gaijin anymore because Ridge brought up what if it's King Kong from space, and the whole time he said that it has been in my head. Space monkey, that funky monkey,
I knew you were gonna say that.
space monkey.
I was gonna say that too.
I knew it. I was like, oh, I know exactly what he's gonna say.
Like Jangles the moon monkey.
Okay, so my automatic thought was seeing King Kong in a giant spacesuit or just a giant space helmet.
What if it was like what if it was like one of those
literally
monkeys-
Jangles the moon monkey.
What if what if it was like Jangles the monkey that they sent to the moon and like a heat wave or like a radiation wave from the sun hit him and it made him all big and shit, and he's still got the helmet on and shit, looking like a big old sandy cheeks out there fighting Godzilla and Kong.
Oh,
Big old sandy cheeks.
Because this is a giant monster movie and physics don't matter. It does not matter that he would have popped like a zit in the spacesuit due to actual solar radiation. Nah, he got big. He got jacked. My brother doing steroids.
this movie doesn't have to make sense, alright? It just exists.
For my people who watched Umbrella Academy, it could be Luther. I'm just saying. If y'all don't know who Luther is, he's a character in Umbrella Academy who got sent to the moon and his body pretty much turned into like he's all big and hairy, kind of like an ape, and so they call him Space Monkey a couple times in the show.
Monkey.
Oh me.
It's just a Super Saiyan.
Yeah.
How about that? It's just
That's
a Saiyan.
exactly
It's
what
just-
I was about to say. It's just a Super Saiyan, y'all.
It's Goku from Dragon Ball Evolution.
Oh no!
And
Don't
just
you
like
ever say
that-
again.
You're off the board.
Just like
So
just
we
like
ready
that,
to move
you have
into our
made
next
enemies of A lot
topic?
of people
Yeah,
on the internet.
Let's move on.
Yeah, we can move on.
It's a good way to get us canceled.
All right, so
Listen, if we're not canceled now, I don't think there is a way for us to get there yet.
yeah.
Don't speak that.
Say that.
Don't
We're not
speak
big
the
enough
evil.
yet.
Don't speak the evil of Dragon Ball Evolution in this house ever again.
Okay.
All right, so this next topic is, while we were gone for these last few weeks, we got the second trailer for Grand Theft Auto 6, which officially announced that we're getting it a month from tomorrow. So, May 26, 2026. So, Ridge, what you got on that, bro?
Wow.
Well, first off, I'm going to start off by saying rip to all of us that have been waiting for forever and a day. We still have to wait for another forever and a day because apparently they're still struggling with getting everything to not glitch. I guess I don't fucking know what we're waiting on by this point. You've had, I don't know how many years. I get it. It's a lot of different graphics. And I get it. You got a $2 billion budget on this fucking game.
Is it really
It's
Grand
a
Theft Auto if they didn't blow some of that
game.
$2 billion on coke and hookers?
Well, that's the thing is they blew it all on that, trying to get them all just right and get every piece of clothing, every granular just right looking, and make it as real as possible for a fucking game. Guys, y'all realize how much $2 billion is?
Yeah, that's a lot.
Who made
You realize-
zeros? My head hurt.
Do you
It's a
realize
shit.
that that's more than LeBron James' net worth?
That's insane.
Do y'all realize that this game costs more to make than the world's tallest building?
Jesus.
Do you realize that that's more money than I'll ever see in my lifetime or my family's lifetime will ever see in the span of time that they're alive?
You realize that's
Right.
more money than all of us will see put together, and our net worths will ever be put together, more than likely?
And I'm a banker.
Ah,
Listen, I'm gonna say it
of
this way:
fucking-
once I see quadruple digits, right? When I see 4 digits in a line and a money sign next to it, my head starts to hurt a little bit. Because
Just don't count the
That's
zeros.
no, like I'm like, dang, $1,000. That's a lot of money.
Yep.
Even though in this day and age, you blink and half that shit's gone. You're like, dang.
Yeah.
But
Mhm.
but still, it's just like there's more. You're telling me I can add 3 more zeros onto this? Nah.
But one thing I have to say about GTA 6 that it's like my only gripe with it, besides having to wait another year, is I feel like they might have already gave too much out in the trailers, because people are already speculating what the story is going to be about. I mean, we know that it's going to be like a Bonnie and Clyde style story, and our 2 main characters, but people are already guessing that Jason, the main character, is a cop and he's undercover. And there's so many points in the trailer that points it out that for that to be true. So I think, me and Mikey's already said it. I think the story is gonna be a phenomenal story. I think it's gonna wreck a bunch of us. But I'm just sad.
The story's going to be just a remake of Red Dead 2.
No. I think it's
There, I said it. It's going to be a
You're telling-
nowadays remix of Red Dead 2 because all the characters look the exact same.
Okay, I'll give you that part.
You're telling me Jason's gonna get tuberculosis and fucking die?
Yep, something like that. He'll probably get something more so fitting for today. He'll get some sexual disease and die from that.
They
And
gave my man's the god of herpes. I can't believe it.
He died from the clap.
Damn.
Yeah,
God.
got
No, he gets
pulled
like
up in the wrong neighborhood.
Stupid crap like that, you know.
He got clapped out, man.
Wow. So the whole game's been spoiled for me and everyone else listening. So don't give Rockstar any more money because that's a waste. Nice to know. Everyone who's waited has wasted their time. Moving on with our lives.
Speaking of money, how the hell are you going to make back? I mean, I know it's going to take over periodical amounts of time. How
Just
the
like
hell
they've
you
not
plan
dropped
on
GTA
making
6
$2
online
billion back?
They haven't dropped GTA 6 online yet. You just wait.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. When GTA 6 Online comes out, holy shit, they're gonna make so much money.
Okay, but
Well,
how much money do you think that they're at right now with 5?
They got to be over.
You can say a lot and you can say over $1 billion, but I'm just curious, how the fuck do you plan on reaching $2 billion? Because everything's going to have to be super overpriced. We already have a great feeling that this game's going to cost an arm and a leg and a left or right testicle. Probably a right testicle because of how much more money that makes.
So apparently, over its tenure, GTA 5 has made over $10 billion.
I can see that.
Well, I mean, it took 10 years to get to that, obviously,
Right.
or more. But
okay, if you told me I could make 10 billion plus in 10 years, I can tell you what I'm doing in the next decade.
Look, I'm not expecting another GTA. I'm not expecting another GTA
dying.
to come out until I'm at least 40 after this one. All right, so
I honestly think after this GTA, and this is just my own thought, we don't get no more.
no problem.
This will be the last GTA that we ever get.
I wouldn't be
Because it's going to be so massive, and we won't even. It will take forever and a day till we die to get through the storyline, right?
Yep.
And then after that, we're going to have so much that we can fucking do in the online mode. Why the fuck will they waste their time with trying to make another one later on down the road? Because we'll still be working. We'll still be at 15% on the story mode whenever we hit fucking 50.
Yeah, probably.
So, I mean,
more like I'll be 50 years old when it's halfway done downloading.
I'll be in the grave by then, alright?
Yeah, you'll just hear from inside my coffin the PlayStation beep.
You'll hear it start up at random.
Yeah, just
Even
me
on
inside
the
my
other
coffin.
side.
Me in my grave.
Oh, instead of dying.
Me in my coffin with a bunch of Doritos around me playing GTA 6.
Hell, I'm dead
This
already.
shit-
Third person mode, permanent third person mode.
Oh man. I mean, the one plus side that I can say for this game, it still looks incredibly good.
Oh yeah.
I'm not mad neither on waiting anymore because we've been waiting for so fucking long. They could delay this thing for another 5 years. I'll say what the hell, but after that, that's it because, again, we've been waiting for a long ass fucking time and you just kind of almost forget about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I mean, 13 years is a crazy wait for video games. I mean, Bethesda should have taken, they should have taken note from Bethesda. Don't make your players wait too long for these games because then it doesn't make them happy.
Now, ultimately, I think it'll be worth it. I mean, yeah, 13 years is a long time, but ultimately, I do think by the time we get online and stuff like that, it'll have worth the wait. But it's still like, man, for us people who don't really play GTA online on like GTA 5, we can only play the story mode so many damn times.
If we get on there and everybody gets on there and buys it and everything, and it's taking this long and that fucker still crashes, I'm crashing out myself on the gaming
I think
company.
a lot of people will crash out immediately upon that happening.
I will crash out
They'll find the
on
next to my
Rockstar.
body. They'll find the note next to my body that just says "fuck Rockstar."
No, you ain't gonna find the note. You gonna find me on the news getting escorted out of Rockstar Studios because I went up in there and asked them what the fuck it took y'all this long and y'all couldn't fix the bugs and make sure that it wasn't gonna crash whenever you decided to release this big ass game for everybody. Unnecessary rant already about the game. Hot damn.
Yeah, no, the note next to my body gonna say some crazy shit like everything. The cat gets my shit. Like I
Don't touch my hat.
All right, guys,
We on to the next one.
we good?
Yep.
Yeah, I think we've
Yeah, I'm
I
good,
think we
bro.
said all we need to say about that game.
All right, well, let's move on to the next fucking thing.
I'm not done kicking this dead horse.
All right, so this next one ain't gonna. We probably won't stick on this topic for too long, but looks like we are getting a live action Voltron movie starring Henry Cavill, and I guess instead of going to theaters, it is going straight to streaming. What's your guys' thoughts on that?
This is a movie. Go ahead.
No, you're good. Go ahead.
So, to me personally, this is a movie that I see more so being something meant for streaming.
Yeah.
I get it. At one point, there was and is a audience for it, right?
Right.
But if you ask me, someone who hasn't ever seen Voltron neither, this isn't that big of a thing. It's not going to make the type of money that they would want for it to come out in theaters with. It's not going to be worth the time to put in theaters. As much as some people would want to see it in theaters, I'm sure if you have enough money, you can get in a private screening of it, right?
Right.
But to me, this isn't a movie that's going to gain a lot of traction to be in the theaters.
I think I have to sadly agree on that. I think, Voltron's cool and all that jazz, but it's not like Gundam. If it was like Gundam, then maybe, yeah, that needs to be a theater movie, but I don't see it really being that big of a draw to the theaters.
Maybe not in American theaters.
I think Gundam is so cool. God, I think Gundam is so cool. I cannot do Gunpla. I will not do Gunpla whatsoever. But holy crap, Gundam as a concept in a genre is so cool. But this is about Voltron, not Gundam.
Yeah.
And I hear you. Voltron is cool. I hear you. Voltron, but I raise Power Rangers.
That's what I was just about to say. Like,
Yeah.
why are we focusing
Yeah,
on
I
Voltron
get
when we
that.
just do
Yeah.
Power Rangers?
I'm surprised too, Slater. I was figuring that you might say something. I was waiting for someone to say it. Is that Voltron isn't that kind of like a Power Rangers in a way?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure. I don't know which one came out first. I'm not big on either side, so I'm sorry. I think it was Voltron that came first, to be 100% honest.
I think it was.
But
I think
well, no.
Voltron may have been. Oh, go ahead, Jordan.
No, you go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say, Hold on. You know what? Let me just do some research, boys, before we wind up sticking our foot in our mouths.
well, I'll go ahead and be the one to stick my foot in my mouth. I don't care. And judging off this photo that I see on the slide, they're wearing Power Ranger colors, and it's a story of these kids the kids are the main part of the story. The adults are the ones that are in the background. So I don't know whether it's Henry Cavill is just training these kids to become Voltron or what. But it's not really based around the older people. It's around the kids, and if you're doing something like that, you're more than likely to have a bigger audience for a Power Rangers movie in theaters right now than you would a Voltron movie in theaters right now. Either way, to me, and I hate to be the one that says it, I don't think you would have a big pull on either one of them in theaters. Just a slight more pull for Power Rangers.
Yeah.
Okay, so real quick, I got you. Voltron, the first episode ever, was aired September 10th, 1984 in the United States. The first episode of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers in the United States was aired August 28th, 1993. But
Super Sentai.
the Super Sentai franchise began in 1975, which backs up my original thought that Voltron was America's answer to Super Sentai. And then
Power Rangers.
then Super Sentai was just like, okay, but the Power Rangers, and some people already recognized the Power Rangers a lot longer due to Super Sentai and was like, holy shit, this rocks. That's not to say that Voltron isn't unloved. It is very loved.
Yeah.
But I think that answers our question of who came first, the Megazord or Voltron.
Yeah. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
Any other thoughts on it, guys?
Nope.
All right.
No, I don't got nothing.
All right. So, last real topic that we got for the night. Looks like we got some news about Blade. Ridge, what you got, brother?
Did I not tell you about... I'm sorry. This is completely sidetracked from what we're running off of. I didn't tell you any Ironheart thing, did I?
Oh, yeah, yes, you did. My bad.
Okay, I didn't know if you had that slide too or not, so I just...
I forgot all about that, but this is...
Sorry,
it is Marvel, so we'll just ride.
We're in the Marvel category, and we're in the wrapping up process too. So, all right. So with Blade, apparently here recently, recently as in last week, if I'm not mistaken, last week or the week before, David S. Goyer, the original writer to the first set of Blade movies, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, directed the third Blade movie, has come out and told Marvel to give him a call to write the new movie because he has been super curious on what's the holdup with this new movie coming out. And so that's always the big thing right now, right? With the new Blade movie,
Yeah.
is what's the big holdup? Why is it taking forever? And really, the only thing I can think of is that the main holdup right now is how do we get vampires to fit into the MCU right now, and when will they fit in? That's the real question that has to be asked.
Well, actually, you know what? This is actually a very good bring-up point for Ironheart too. So we've always heard a rumor or so about Mephisto here, Mephisto there, right? Well, I've heard that. Well, one of the main villains in Ironheart is the Hood,
Mm-hmm.
which, if I'm not wrong, I think the Hood has something to do with Mephisto. So
Mephisto gave the Hood his powers.
yeah. Then plus, we're getting more rumors about Ghost Rider being in Doomsday and stuff like that. So, and we already got Moon Knight and Doctor Strange. And they're already talking about wanting to do a Midnight Suns movie.
They can pull it off.
So,
But again, how does this fit into, like, because to me, Ironheart's movie, even, and you can, if you have the slide, you can go ahead and hop into that, and we can talk about that here shortly too, and just go back and forth. The Ironheart movie doesn't necessarily make sense right now, neither. If you ask me,
Right.
there's no way that you can convince me, and I can be completely wrong, or not the Ironheart movie, this TV show we're going to get. It's a TV series. It doesn't, to me, it doesn't fit into this timeline. The only way Ironheart, I think, would have fit into anything is if Ironheart would have been a lead-in to somehow to do with Armor Wars.
Yeah.
So
Okay,
I
yeah,
think
I can see
that's
that.
there certain pieces, and like with Blade 2, okay, we're getting into a dark side, and its sole purpose is focus on vampires. Well, right now we can't really. It's not really a good time to try to bring in vampires and explore this new dark side, right? Because we're focusing in on the certain characters that are going to lead us into Doomsday and then into Secret Wars. Can you show us the old school Wesley Snipes Blade in Secret Wars? Of course you can. And of course it will fit. You can put in the Nicolas Cage as a Ghost Rider in Secret Wars, and it will fit because you can have you could have the image, and it can set up the tease for what's to come with an old school version of the Midnight Suns, with our nowadays Doctor Strange also fighting above them, right?
Right.
You could do that just to set up, hey, just a little nod or a little tease as to the future and where we're going to try to eventually go with giving the Midnight Suns Blade and a new Ghost Rider.
Yeah. And honestly,
So
I just kind of looked up to answer your question about how could vampires fit into the MCU. They could have. I mean, when they originally brought up the vampires in MCU, it was like some kind of cult was reanimating human bodies, like taking dead bodies and bringing them back to life, pretty much, and turning them into these creatures. So it could be something like that.
we can't do that right now. I'm gonna go ahead and because
I
if we
agree.
did that right now, you're pretty much doing the same thing as you tried to do with Secret Invasions.
True, true.
And Secret Invasions now does not have a single purpose in this slate, neither.
At all.
Again, maybe later on you can make them all fit, but just not right now. We can't have it. Doesn't fit, and that's the reason why Blade's having to be held off. That's the main thing that I'm getting at. Is that reason why we don't have Blade right now, and the reason why it's been announced almost 10 years ago. It seems like that we was going to get a Blade movie versus to where we're at now and still not having a Blade movie is because it just doesn't fit in
Man,
to this
think about
time frame.
We got Blade in the after credit scene for the Eternals.
Yeah, that's. I mean,
Not a lot
that's
of people
that's
know
being
that.
a to satiate the appetite.
Right, but even then, it was just his voice. But in the Eternals, we might not ever really see again, and if we do, it'll probably be in different other people's movies and different characters' movies.
Right.
But I don't think we're expected to see a second Eternals movie to pay off anything else from that movie. Or to pay into the new universe. We'll see the characters here and there, but, not as a whole team.
Yeah.
You know, if I could have a moment. Ridge, I think you're wrong. I'll tell you what's taking the Blade movie so long. There's always some motherfucker trying to ice skate uphill. That is exactly the reason, and I refuse to believe it's any other reason because this is a fucking crime. I do agree with everything that's been said up to this point, though. Like on the real, I think Midnight Suns would be a pretty cool way to do it because I'm not sure how else I could get it there. But like at the same time, like I don't know. I don't know.
My thing is, like, I want them to hurry up and do something so we don't lose Mahershala Ali as Blade. Because I feel like he is a fantastic pick to play Blade. It is just like, I'm surprised he hasn't left the project already.
Oh yeah, because he could easily get other movies to do.
But here's the thing, especially with Sinners recently coming out, y'all still shouldn't be looking for a director. You could have Ryan Coogler be the director of Blade, and it'll do fucking money. And honestly, even if you don't get him, Jordan Peele.
Yeah, that's still my top pick of directors. I mean, do I think that they'll use him? No, just because they have their certain pot of people that they like to use and like to go back to, and I think that even with any of these movies, they'll go back to the kettle of directors that they already have.
Well, that's the thing, Ryan.
Now, not to say that Ryan Coogler shouldn't be an option, but
I mean, Ryan Coogler's done Black Panther, and he did Ironheart, so we'll have to see on that. I mean, but wouldn't it be awesome if they just get Ryan Coogler to direct it and Jordan Peele to produce it, because that's what Jordan Peele mainly does, is produce stuff.
Yeah,
that'd be interesting. Well, I mean, technically, he wouldn't be able to produce it because it would be Kevin Feige that's producing it.
They can have multiple producers.
Nah.
Alright, speaking of Ironheart, do you have the slide for it, and we'll just move on into it?
No, I don't. We'll just keep it on here.
Oh, alright. That's all good. So the Ironheart news is the trailer for Ironheart has come out over the week. Have any of y'all seen the trailer to it?
Yeah.
Okay, so what are your thoughts about this show? Are you excited for it? Could you care a rat's ass less? And also,
I'm excited for it, but it's like how you feel. Like, it almost feels like we've been waiting too long for it.
well, that's what I was going to say too. Is also, should they have just shelved this character as a whole, or just shelved the show and pulled it from the slate like they did with Armor Wars?
Yeah. I don't know. Like, it's weird. Like, I'm just hoping that when we watch it, that it'll be good and something. And by the end of it, we'll be like, okay, yeah, I can see why they made this now, and instead of being like how we are right now, like kind of
salty about it.
Yeah. Debating on whether we should, like, if it's going to be watchable in the first place. So.
You know what really grinds my gears? What really grinds my gears is bad writing and wasted potential.
Yeah.
I loathe those two things the most. And I'm not saying anything definitive about Ironheart in that statement. Nothing whatsoever. What I am saying is, come on.
Yeah.
Listen, can we all agree to a certain extent, this including one studio that's also belongs to Disney, we want good things to come from these studios, and we want good projects, whether it's DC related, whether it's Marvel related, whether it's, even though I'm not looking for anything good to come out of there anytime soon, Lucasfilms related, we want good movies and good shows. I think everyone can agree on that, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I'm going to watch this show and hope for the best. And we also got to remember that this show was made years ago.
Yep.
Now. So it might fit in, and it might not. That's my worry with it as well, is that since it was made years ago, it's not going to fit in at all. Because whenever that movie was being made, it was being made to eventually have either a tie-in to Armor Wars or a tie-in to Avengers: The Kang Dynasty.
Yeah.
Those were the two things that it could have possibly tied into. Now, take it too, it could also be that's tying into something completely different that has to do with the darker side of the MCU, since there is rumors of having Mephisto in this project. Whether or not we'll get him, that's a completely different story too, because we've heard that so many different fucking times. It's almost like waiting on GTA 6. You're just waiting for it to eventually happen, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Oh my gosh, guys. Guys,
what's up?
breaking news. Phil Robertson has died.
Oh no.
How awful.
Yep, Duck Dynasty star Phil Robertson dies at 79 following Alzheimer's diagnosis.
Oh man.
Sorry.
So you couldn't wait till we got through the MCU shit.
I know, right?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but I'm
I'm sorry. I'm trying to lighten up the mood a little bit because that just plummeted us.
Yeah, that's
Don't
tore
worry,
our hearts out.
How heartbreaking.
that tears me
All right, so real quick, let me get through this MCU stuff and then we'll go into that. All right.
All right.
Like I said, this show I think should have just been shelved. The character could have appeared in Doomsday or Secret Wars, but also could have been shelved because I think that all this could have just been something to lead into Armor Wars, where you have the issue of this character wearing pretty much an Iron Man suit, but it does not belong to Stark Tech, and it could have been a whole thing right there. And also, this could have been an idea at one point with Armor Wars too. Is Armor Wars could have showed a variant of Nathaniel Richards
Yeah.
as Iron Lad,
Good.
and then you have Iron Lad, War Machine, and Ironheart all in one show, and that very well could have been what it eventually led up to. So
Yeah, I can see it.
I hate that. I'm looking forward to the show, but it's a not a high up the show. I looked more so forward to the show to like Daredevil than anything else,
Right.
Okay,
So-
yeah, I mean, that's fair.
But anyways,
Is that it for the MCU?
that's it as far as I know
All right. Well,
on the MCU.
I believe that's it for our topics for the night. But before we get off before we end the stream and end the episode, I do want to bring up that June 20th through the 22nd in Dalton, Georgia, we will be at MetroThamCon 6, and we got invited to be there as media. We're gonna have our own table, so y'all can come around, see us, and say hi to us. Hopefully, we'll get more people to come watch us while we're there, and we're also going to be doing a panel. And as we talked about a lot this episode, we're going to be discussing the Marvel Cinematic Universe and its future. So if y'all got any free time between for the 20th through the 22nd of June, y'all should come check MetroThamCon out. They've always been great. I've been there the last 2 years, and it's a super solid convention. And now that they're going to a bigger convention hall, it's going to be even better. We're excited to get that going. And
Oh, yeah.
like I said, it's the first time we're actually getting to have our own panel, so that'll be awesome.
It's a big deal for us. It may not seem like it may seem like a small thing, but like for us, it's huge because it's like it's just super cool to get to do stuff like that.
Right.
So, and we're very, very excited to talk some more Marvel stuff with you guys, and it'd be really cool to see some fans in person come up and just say hi. We're all normal people.
And honestly,
Mostly normal.
some
Speaking only for myself.
some of the guests that they're going to have there is going to be awesome too. I mean, they're going to have $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase,
Yep, Ted DiBiase.
Rick Steiner,
Oh, man.
Lex Luger.
Yep.
Austin St. John's going to be there. The girl, the little girl that plays Princess Leia in the Obi-Wan series is going to be there.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't know she'd be there. That's awesome.
Honestly, besides Austin St. John, my favorite one and the one I can't wait to meet, T.C. Carson is going to be there.
Yeah.
Kratos himself. Well, the OG Kratos.
Boy.
Hey, real quick, Caleb, that's a little weird that you're excited to see a little girl at a con.
I mean, I just didn't know she was going to be there, bro. That's pretty cool.
All right,
I mean,
where's the very loud incorrect buzzer noise? And I want someone to put a giant red Family Feud X on Ridge.
Yep. Yes, we need a band hammer and we need to lay it down, smack it down upon this man.
I had to do that. You know that didn't sound right.
I mean,
if you sit there and think about it, you're excited for a little girl to be at the con.
That's pretty cool. It didn't sound like I was that excited.
But either way, guys, if y'all have the free time,
I can't believe it.
If y'all got the free time between June 20th and June 22nd, definitely go check out Metrotham Con. Not even just for us, because like I said, they're good people. They, good convention. I've personally met the guy who runs it, and he's a nice guy. So they, and they're for them to allow us to be able to do a panel and give us a table and the floor and everything. That's awesome. Like I can't even express enough how insanely awesome that is for us. So, but yeah, I believe that's it for the week, guys. We'll be back on our regular schedule. We're starting our weekly episodes again. Like I said, we apologize that we had this
life
week
hate us.
If y'all don't know, I got injured a couple weeks ago, and I'm still dealing with that shit. Got a doctor's appointment for this week, so hopefully we get that worked out. And if the Lord still allows it, I still plan on making a little video for me and Mikey when we go to Atlanta, if the Lord still allows us to go. Me and Mikey talked about it the other day. If I have to walk on my hands and knees to these concerts, I will. So, but yeah,
I mean, it's Metallica, bro, and Ice Nine Kills. I mean, come on.
But either way, we're excited to be back, and we apologize for the wait. But no worry, we're back. We're gonna be back strong. So yeah, just keep an eye out for some of those things. Keep an eye out on Facebook. I guess we'll talk to you guys next week. Peace out.
Oh,
Bye.